This week's episode of the Totally Rad Show is brought to you by Gamefly. Check out gamefly.com/TTRS for a free trial account.
Squarespace.
And Netflix. Go to netflix.com/TRS to get a free trial membership.
Last week, you heard Alex tell you about this awesome contest we've got going on with Catfish. It's a movie that's coming out about this guy who meets someone on Facebook who turns out to be a little bit different than he had expected. We've seen it. I can tell you it's amazing. In a couple of weeks, we're going to be picking a fan from the LA area to do a surprise visit like Catfish style. So if you live in and around LA and would like to get a surprise visit from us and be featured in an episode of TRS, then there's 3 things you need to do, okay? Step 1, if you're not already a fan or member of the Totally Rad Show Facebook page, become one. Step 2, send an email to catfish@totallyradshow.com with a link to your Facebook page and your address and phone number. And step 3, write Catfish on the Facebook TRS wall. We're gonna pick one viewer from the entries and make a surprise visit to hang out, to get to know you, and feature you on a segment of the show. So please, enter soon, enter often.
All right, everybody, coming up on the show, we got the new George Clooney movie, The American, also talking about Metroid, The Other M, as well as some cool newsy stuff. Plus, the boys without me get to go see the new Call of Duty. Stick around.
3 rad friends on a lazy weekend attempt to comprehend a story without end. To the attic they ascend, start to read and pretend that they meet and befriend a magic luck dragon. Between the bookends, it missed out on the trends and needs them to recommend games and films to attend. We don't mean to offend. You'll just have to suspend your disbelief and contend with the Totally Rad Show.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Totally Rad Show, episode number 181. I'm Alex Albrecht.
I'm Jeff Canada.
I'm Dan Trachtenberg.
Totally Rad Show is a weekly dose of all things rad. We wake up in Sweden and shoot a bunch of people in the face.
That's what we do.
That is how we roll. On today's episode, we got a great background, by the way.
Yeah, Mafia, I mean, we were stuck in the 50s last week.
True.
And if you've been stuck in the 50s playing Mafia 2, you'll probably appreciate this background. Pasquale Forgione sent it in. I hope I didn't butcher that. But we're not talking about Mafia, we're talking about Metroid today in video games, so that's gonna be fun.
True. Now, real quick, before we get started, I did want to say, so some buddy of mine has a great web series called The Legend of Neil. I don't know if you guys have seen it.
Right.
Amazing stuff over at adam.com. And starting Tuesday, September 7th, which is I think is like this today, I am doing a guest star role on one of their episodes, and it's freaking hysterical. We had such a blast, but it comes out today.
Can't wait to see it.
So check it out, adams.com.
Even more than that,
Yes.
we have a gigantic announcement about this show.
Oh yeah, next
at
week.
the bottom of the show.
Oh, the bottom of this show?
The bottom of this show. So stay
Oh,
tuned.
right, I forgot.
At the end of the show,
It might
we are
be
going
the
to have
biggest announcement
we've ever
announced.
Since the
But
beginning of the
also,
show.
real quick,
we're doing a show.
Another real quick house cleaning thing is that our summer wager should be happening right now, the results of our summer wager, because the summer is over, which we'll get to in movies.
But our challenger has left the country, thankfully.
So we're going to be a little late on that. So, but don't worry, it's going to happen.
Correct.
But we're going to be a little late. Also, we get to finally celebrate Alex's birthday.
Bottom of the show.
I don't think so.
Top of the show?
Top of the show because...
What's in the box?
Yeah, exactly.
What's in the box?
Yeah.
So this is it, it's my birthday.
Well,
I'm
yes,
so excited.
this is the long-awaited birthday.
So don't look over at the box.
I'm not, I'll look at Jeff.
Just don't look at the box. I gotta
look
do
at
some
Jeff.
things.
What am I supposed to, wait, what? Don't look
Stand in
left,
the
don't
corner.
look right, look right
Don't
into
look
the
at the
camera.
box.
Don't
I'm not
listen,
looking at
and
the
don't
box.
listen.
I'm not
Don't
listening,
listen to
I'm not
anything.
listening to anything. La la la. I'm so excited. I wonder what it is.
It's pretty awesome.
Is it a small gerbil? It better not be alive, that's all I say.
It might hurt you.
I don't even know.
All right. Shush, don't listen.
Okay.
Hey, R2,
What?
command,
Mode. Move forward.
move forward. 3 units.
Yes!
Amazing.
That worked out way better. Thing that I've ever seen!
Hey, R2. Game mode. Dance program.
Amazing! My dog is gonna eat that so good! That is the best thing I've ever seen!
Happy birthday, buddy.
Dude,
birthday.
thank you so much. Holy shit, that is like...
From
I get my own little you.
That's from all three of us, and it took a while to get here, but
That is perfect.
I had the packaging at home, but I thought, sorry for
No,
opening
that is
your
epic.
present.
No,
but
I love
thought
that.
This would be better.
That is the
We all
best
thought-
presentation.
all right, dudes.
So how do you use it? I'm like, hey, R2,
We'll go
fist
over it.
pump.
This week in movies, we are not going to be talking about Machete, which I'm sure many of you are expecting us to chime in on, but due to scheduling conflicts, PAX travel, and all that stuff, we decided.
You should actually have said at the top, thanks to everybody who came out for PAX.
That's right.
You'll
That's
see
right.
this
Thanks for
after.
everybody who came out for
That's right.
PAX, because you'll see this after.
And yeah, that was fun.
So we are going to be talking about The American. So clearly, summer has ended and fall has begun, and now we're getting some award possibilities. So The American comes from director, well, it's based on a book, but it's directed by a guy named Anton Corbijn, who was a very famous music video director in the 80s and 90s, and did the Joy Division biopic called Control from a couple of years back.
Oh, interesting.
And
You and I saw when we were in London.
we saw it in London. And it stars George Clooney as an old spy who
Sort of,
is
maybe.
living in Italy and is doing a job. It focuses on it's more of a so unlike the Bourne movies and James Bond, this is much more of a poetic character study about this spy as opposed to an action movie with a dense
Right.
plot. Jeff,
Yes, sir.
you are an American.
I am.
What did you think of The American? Did he portray you
I thought you were going
well?
to say, and also, people often mistake you for George Clooney.
Right. I did not say that.
You did. Pointedly, you did not.
No, I got that from what you said.
This movie is very deliberate. The pacing is very slow, deliberate, methodical. It is not, as you said, an action film with big beats. It's not. In fact, it's bold in the sense that it's almost an experiment in how little information we can give you, the audience, and have you still interested in our main character. Because we know for large sections of the opening of the film, we know almost nothing about this man. We learn everything through his behavior, through his actions. We're not told anything about him. We don't see his relationships with people. All we see are his actions, his behaviors. And most of these behaviors are very small. They're very meticulous. And it's a movie that probably could try the patience of a lot of viewers. I found myself getting a little antsy at certain parts. But it is a movie, I think, that rewards the patient, because by the end I found myself really drawn into the experience, and I found myself connected to the character, and I think the end is such a wonderful payoff that it makes the beginning, the slowness of the journey worthwhile. I liked the movie.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, it's sort of like, it really felt like, is the director Italian?
I don't think so.
Okay, because it really felt
But I don't
like
know.
an
It's a
Italian.
weird name. He's got a weird name.
It really felt like, when I left, I thought it was like this guy who George Clooney was hanging out with, who's a director in Italy, was like, hey, George, hey, come on to be in my next film. We do it here, we do it in the backyard.
Offensive.
And then they were just like, let's just shoot this thing like in our town. It'll be great, low budget, just kind of fun, blow stuff up, maybe. You get to have sex a lot, it'll be awesome. At the beginning of this movie, I was like, oh, wow, okay, cool. So we're gonna get the sort of non-jokey comedy version of In Bruges, which is this guy who shouldn't be in a small town anywhere doing anything but just kind of chilling, has to go and kind of hang out and lay low in this small town, and what happens, and the character of that.
Not that.
Well, that is basically what we got, but for me, I didn't think that the character was given enough room to grow in order for it to be a character piece. Meaning, I kept thinking, especially early on, I was like, wow, the writing of this is not, I'm not getting the character. You know what I mean? Like, I understand who they're trying the character to be, but for whatever reason, whether it was the acting or the writing, what I think the potential for this movie was, a real window into this person's life and learning about this character. And what I think you got for me was very surfacey. It was, he's quiet because he's a spy. You know what I mean? He's always attentive because he's a spy. Whereas I feel like it could have really dove deep into the fact that he's alone and doesn't have these relationships. And I feel like it tried to go there, but just kind of was on the surface with it. But inevitably, it was a fun ride, and I enjoyed it.
I don't think he was a spy so much as an assassin.
I agreed. He said spy. It was in my brain.
Man, I didn't like the movie that much. I thought it was really well shot. But the interesting thing is you guys both chose words that
You like.
I wish it was. Like you said, it was deliberate and methodical, and I usually associate that with economical. And you said it was very surfacey, but I felt like, whereas most movies, No Country for Old Men, picture this is a glass surface. No Country for Old Men operates up here as this exciting and tense suspense film, but with this glass surface where you can see down the depths of all these other stories underneath that have so much meaning. This movie, I felt like, was at the bottom. There was no surface story, but it was all subtext. It was all like as if the director and George Clooney, everyone were having these conversations about the backstories of their characters and the meanings of everything and what it means to be an American in a foreign land or foreign policy or whatever. And that's all we're getting. And we have once in a while these glimpses to the surface of what could be the plot or you know, it's a very languid, poetic film that it has these bursts of action. And it's ironic that Sergio Leone was mentioned inside the movie, I think because it's spaghetti western. Because I kept thinking about that filmmaking here, because I love that filmmaking. I love Sergio Leone, but I wasn't loving this. And I think it's because, you know, that a shot can be very poetic and leisurely paced, and then a scene
is your sentence
can be,
right now.
and a scene can be so, but a sequence, an entire sequence, maybe once in a while, but an act and then 3 acts in a movie. There was no rhythm to this movie. I love the opening of Once Upon a Time in the West, which was the movie that was referenced inside this. But then there's some other stuff that happens, and then we get long pacing.
It's like that thing that where the Justin Bieber song was made to go 800. It was awesome, but you would never listen to 32 minutes of that. Just that. And it was like you just got the slowed down Justin Bieber.
And when it's all said and done, I don't think this story needed to be told with this filmmaking. And I was very excited for the guy that made that movie Control to be tackling this material. I thought that makes it, I love that genre bend.
Yeah.
But it wasn't artfully in this place and in this plot, and so that things had meaning. It was all drawl. It was all at that even tone.
I don't know. You didn't think the end was worth that? I thought the end was
because you can have, like I said, Sergio Leone. You can have you can have 20 minutes of your movie be that way, and then punctuate it, and then have a little bit more, and get to the meat of what's happening, and then long and leisure, and you still have that. You still get that. But the whole movie adding up. Really,
it's mathematical, really.
Yeah, I think it was. Anyway, exciting news for us here on the Tully Rad Show, because we ranted and raved about a wonderful comic book called Locke Key in our comic book segment. However long ago, go check it out. It's on our Wikipedia page if you need to know.
We love it.
Everything that we talk about on the show. And it was just announced that it's going to be a TV series produced by Spielberg and Kurtzman and Orsi, who do Fringe. They're Team J.J. Abrams. They've also done his movies as well, as well as Transformers. And it's going to be run by Josh Freeman, who did We're the Worlds, cool, but Sarah Connor Chronicles, which we don't watch, but we watched the pilot and didn't like, but whatever.
But people loved it.
So who knows? What do you guys make of this news?
This is fantastic news. I think this is exactly where that property should live. I don't think it should be a feature film. I think TV series is wonderful. It is inherently episodic storytelling, and it is something that can go on and on and on and never feel less than fresh. It's It's something that it's something that there can infinitely be more keys that unlock and do new, interesting things, and so season 4 can be vastly different from season 1, but still thematically the same and still really interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is exciting. I think it sort of started with The Walking Dead on AMC. I feel like the thing that people are concerned about with so much TV, so many TV channels and a lot of like fluff just shove it out there because we have to fill all this time, but it also allows for these cable companies to really become adventurous, and we've been seeing such great successes from the cable companies that it seems like they're now willing to take on projects like this, because I don't know if maybe you will soon start seeing properties like this showing up on the NBCs, CBSs, and Fox. I think ABC's No Ordinary Family is starting to kind of lean towards that. It's a superhero story told in a kind of a different way, sort of Incredibles, the live-action version on TV. So I'm excited with the prospect of what this means. It means that networks are starting to wake up and go, hey, there are properties that are based in comic books, which is episodic by nature, that could be converted into television series, and we could see some really cool, fun stuff.
I would say that started with Lost and Heroes and all that stuff.
Well, but those weren't comics. Those were comic.
But now there's
and I think
I'm just saying, like,
I think an interesting distinction also is that it's not just comics like we get with the big 2, where it doesn't have a beginning, middle, and end to the story. It's just episodic to keep churning out new Spider-Man stories or new Batman stories. These are properties that do eventually have a conclusion.
Well, that's why that's actually why one of the few reasons why I'm into this, because we know that Locke Key is going to be a finite story, and I feel like that such a cool world has been established in that comic book that it's kind of what you said. Like, we can get much more out of this science fiction idea and this world in a TV show than the Joe Hill, the creator of the comic, is going to give us.
Right.
However,
However, you hate Spielberg.
Well, he's got, it's really his, I mean, he's got nothing to do with this, right?
Yeah.
Well, no, but the thing is like, Kirkman, the science fiction that is Fringe, in this show Fringe, and in Sarah Connor Chronicle, like, that kind of science fiction, the way those guys have handled that isn't very sophisticated and elegant the way it is in the comic. It's a little bit like, it's TV sci-fi to me. It's a little bit
Well, but hopefully they'll use this then not, they'll use it as a better jumping
but this is why however, the world is, I mean, they've all done good, that whole team has done good stuff, but they've also done bad stuff, and the better stuff they've done has not been sci-fi.
I don't know, dude. I'm wondering if lifting the lid on someone's head and looking inside it will feel cheesy on TV, and it doesn't feel drawn on the page.
Well, it doesn't. They don't have to do that.
They don't.
Aspect to it. You know what I mean? However, I also feel like I would have rather this been on HBO.
Yeah.
However, I think about all the network.
Did they say what network it was going to
Fox.
be? Oh, it is going to be Fox.
Right.
Oh.
However,
Sorry.
I think back. We even.
Quickly.
Regardless of this being Stephen King's son, it feels very Stephen King. It has that darkness, the seedy, weird darkness in the story. And I think back, and it's fantasy mixed with horror in reality, though. So I think back to the old networks that brought the show, the miniseries, the Stephen King miniseries that were broadcast on networks, and they scared the poop out of me. And they all had a very dark tone to them.
Yeah, like
that
the
felt
hospital one.
very adult.
Yeah.
When I was younger, I didn't watch those, but It. And Tommy Knockers and all The Stand, right?
Yeah.
So like, if they have that
There's
kind
a
of
darkness
tone,
to Fringe.
There is.
There is.
And it's supposedly getting really good. Anyway.
the two separate points, science, fine,
Yeah.
Okay.
Good
There you
points.
go.
So we're here at the Call of Duty Black Ops big multiplayer event. Leave it to Activision to pull out all the stops. They have a
plane. They had a plane land here earlier.
Well, actually, we're at the Science Center near USC, and there are drinks and DJs. We haven't seen any of the game quite yet, but that's coming up. What are you hoping out of Black Ops?
I'm hoping for some fun. These are always fun.
Yeah.
We go to them every year at the next Call of Duty release, and we always have a really fun time.
We do. I think that was one of the first
fun.
events that we went to 3 years ago, was a Call of Duty event. It seems like. Maybe I'm lying.
The first event? Yo, yeah, at the Cinespace with the chicken wings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
A lot of fun. Chicken wings.
Well, let's check out some multiplayer goodness. guys, so we've been playing Call of Duty Black Ops multiplayer, and also dancing. There's been some dancing. And we've learned a lot of new things about Call of Duty multiplayer. There's a whole player economy where you earn money in the game, and then you can wager it. Yes, COD points. They're not actual physical money, but money that buys you stuff in the game. But then there's a whole wagering mode where you can oh, there's food walking around. I get distracted. Where you can wager that against other players to potentially steal money from them
and get more money to buy stuff. Because the cool thing is, not only does experience points unlock swag, kill streaks, and perks and all that, so does the money. So there's a lot of incentive in this game. There's just a lot of carrots on sticks.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fun things to do. We had so much fun. There's a few wager matches.
Right.
There's one in the chamber where everyone gets one gun with one bullet.
Pistol with one bullet.
Pistol with one bullet. And that's it.
And if you kill someone, you can steal their bullet. But if you both discharge your bullets, all you have left to do is knife them.
So all these game modes really heighten the tension in every game.
The one we just played,
Gun Fun or something, or gun game.
You start with a pistol, and every kill you move up the ladder of better guns. So you start with one pistol, you kill someone, you get to 2 pistols, then you get to a submachine gun, then you get to rifles, and you move up to rocket launchers.
But you do that, but all the way, if you get knifed ever, humiliated, you get demoted.
Yeah.
So much fun, so exhilarating.
All these wager modes, only the top 3 players get money. Everybody else loses. So there's a lot of tension to be in that, what they call in the money. Very cool.
We were number 1 and 2. I was number 1.
Yes.
You were number 2.
You beat me by 1 kill, and that was the last kill, and it was me. Crazy.
Awesome. But that was so much fun. One of the most fun I've ever had playing multiplayer. And what's especially cool about it is that I feel like it sort of evens the playing field, because it's not the typical team deathmatch and people know their spots, and where you all start with the same gun and you all work way up. You don't start. No one's really ranked higher and gets a better weapon, and so all these wager games are exciting because you're wagering, and there's that whole money thing, and the game in and of themselves are very smartly devised to be fun, but also the playing ground is a little bit more even, which is a big deal in multiplayer games.
And it's all free-for-all, so there's no team stuff there. It's all mano-a-mano. Yeah, it really amps up the intensity when you know that you have something on the line. I don't know why it took so long for multiplayer shooters to include wagering. It seems like an obvious thing now that somebody's done it.
Absolutely. I also love you can create custom emblems on your gun, but also your red dot. So I was playing with the yin yang.
Yeah.
So I was shooting everyone, but peacefully.
Right. Yeah, it seems like Treyarch is really bringing their A game. They really talked about being all in on this. The game is wonderfully smooth, looks great as you would expect, but I'm surprised at how much innovation they're bringing to the table.
A lot.
You know, there's a bunch of new big weapons that you can find in the care packages. They showed these giant Gatling guns, and even a remote control car that explodes on impact that you can control. That looked really cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the RC C4.
Yeah.
I am hands down 100% far more excited for multiplayer than I am for single player.
Wow. That's rare for you.
Black Ops. Very rare.
We also played a team deathmatch. Did you feel like that was a big step forward, or was it just more of the same that you love?
No, I think it was a step forward. XP felt pretty cool here. I felt like I was getting more XP in a different way.
Yeah. The new levels look really great. The visual style, it's all that modern stuff. So I'm curious to see how the single player is going to incorporate those levels. But it looks awesome.
More customization I really enjoyed right out from the gate. More customization, so I didn't have to earn that customization.
Yeah, I think a big point that they showed is your primary perk determines the look of your character. So if you're the scavenger, you're a guy that has a lot of pockets on your costume, so that visually someone knows what your perk is before they even kill you or interact with you in any other way. There's a different character model based on your primary perk. I think that's a really interesting way to approach it as well.
I'm digging this Office theme song remix.
I was expecting the guitar to kick in, and it did. Yeah, so any other thoughts about...
I don't know, man. We can't even sum up because there's also the theater mode.
Oh yeah,
pretty
the
exciting.
theater mode, which is very similar to what Halo has had, which is, you know, you create, every match you play is recorded, and the timeline is really clever. They have notches for every kill, whether it's you being killed or you killing someone else, you can hop to the kills really easily.
Very smart.
You can detach the camera and fly around so you can analyze games that you've had, or you can sort of create and edit. You can output to Xbox Live and create machinima. It looks like a very robust editor, which is a really cool element. I can imagine a lot of people creating some really interesting, fun music videos and you know, story stuff too.
Yeah.
It's great. It looks really great. You know, this is Treyarch stepping up and being the A-team on Call of Duty, and I'm really impressed with what I've seen so far.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Can't wait to play the multiplayer.
I think Alex is going to be sad that he missed it.
Big time. Big time.
Reload. We're talking about Metroid The Other M, which is a new take on Metroid. Metroid, of course, has had already a new take on its storied franchise when Retro Studios did the first-person version on the GameCube. And now we have Team Ninja, who is known for Ninja Gaiden, taking Metroid and bringing it back a little bit to its roots, but also changing it and making it more of a 3D action game, much like Ninja Gaiden.
Well said. Very well
the
said.
tropes of Metroid are the same. We have Samus landing on a strange planet that is overrun with aliens. Her suit, this time instead of being stripped of her powers, she's just not allowed to use them for some unexplained reason. And
Oh, it's very clear. Don't use them. All right, you use this one.
yeah. And she, you know, as the game progresses, gets more and more powerful. Blasters, suits, grappling hook, all kinds of crazy stuff. Guys, Alex, I'm very curious what your take on. Did you ever play Metroid Prime or any of its sequels?
No, I did not. No, that was it came out for the Wii, right? Metroid Prime,
they came
where
out with
you
the
could
trilogy.
shoot the thing like this.
They re-put out the trilogy.
Originally for the GameCube, though.
Originally
right,
for the GameCube.
got it. No,
one of my favorite games of all time,
did not. I think I did pick it up a couple times and tried to play it, but I was back in the Wii pointing days, which.
So you did play SNES, NES versions of Metroid.
Yeah. Metroid
you
is
have
super fun.
some affinity for this character.
Of course. I mean, I think nobody could grow up in the 80s and have a Nintendo without playing Metroid. I sort of feel that way as I did with Kid Icarus, and now I'm super excited to see what the 3DS version of that looks like. I think it really goes to show how much I dislike the gameplay on the Wii. When the moment it starts up and says, hold your controller sideways, it's like, I won the lottery! A game I may actually enjoy on the Wii. Which I think just sort of shows how much I don't like pointing at the screen.
Well, there's plenty of that in this game as well.
And one of the things that I will say is I was extremely surprised at how well they were able to convert. It started a little clunky for me. I was like, oh God, no, I have to go from here to here. And then it just really started to feel totally natural, and I really got into it, and it was much easier, and I actually was able to enjoy that motion because it was so infrequent. It made me realize. Well, but I mean,
I tended to use it a lot.
Really?
I found, yeah.
You mean just for the missile shooting stuff?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's almost. I don't think there's a single boss in the game that you can kill without using missiles.
Well, but bosses. I mean, yes,
There's a
during
lot
the
of
boss,
bosses in this game.
you would do that. But for most of the walking around, playing, and exploring and stuff like that, every once in a while I would like go, oh, there's the thing I have to shoot it, and be done. I didn't, and maybe I was doing it more than I thought I was, and yet it was so much more seamless than I had I didn't even realize it. But so I actually really did that. I thought this to me was Metroid back to what I loved about Metroid. It was, you know, going through tubes and hallways and then going, when I get back here, I'm going to be able to go up in that tube because I'm probably going to be able to do that thing that I should already be able to do, but they'll tell me when I can. And then you go back and you go through and you're like, yeah, this is awesome. So it's got that great traversal stuff. You know, the story was a little emu for me.
Emo.
No, emu. There was literally like these like alpaca type thing, or just small ostrich birds.
I don't remember that part, but
It was very interesting. No, it was very emo for me. It was very Japanese long story.
So you do this
animation
to the-
stuff. Yeah. I thought, standing there, silent. This meant 17 things, and I'll tell you about them for 20 minutes. And I'm like, really? How about I just did that and it was mad?
I thought the cutscenes were really well done.
They were done well, but it was just like I felt like I was playing. I felt like I was playing
like
like
the dishes,
fantasy or Final Fantasy 13 again or 14 again. I mean, it was like
Yeah.
12 or whatever the fuck. I was like, Jesus.
Ninja Gaiden.
Or Ninja Gaiden. But so I actually had a blast. I was like, if you have a Wii and you liked Metroid, this is definitely. Even if you hate the use of the Wii, this is a game to try.
Dan,
I'm
how's
shocked.
your arm doing?
I am shocked by Alex's words. Shocked. Take my words with a grain of salt because I did not get very far. You probably know how far I got as I go on here with these words that I'm saying. But
There was a door at the beginning and I couldn't get through it.
most of the time, I have fun playing a game because you get to cool bad guys in a fun way, whether it's cool looking or the button combinations feel very satisfying, or what I'm seeing is
thumb movement is so nice.
no, but just like the way that feel, we always say the feel of that or the combo, or I have to use some sort of skill to figure out what I'm doing,
Horrible.
and it's very fun to play. Every part of this game felt annoying to me. Like when I would walk into a room and there were bad guys, even the little small dudes that were, that were in the original Metroid looking, I felt a feeling of annoyance. Like literally, it's like, I gotta kill these guys. Because all you do is you run around, you hit a button, and you kill them. But
it has an auto-aiming mechanic.
Right.
So I found that to be something that took a little getting used to. Because often it would auto-aim the enemy that I didn't want to be shooting at that moment.
Yeah.
Like the little crab guys that can't be attacked. And,
You're
and
right.
It's like, there's a flying guy that I really wish you were shooting.
Right. So that was annoying. It has gameplay that you mentioned that is in a lot of games, and I never really like it, but hopefully like a game like Darksiders, everything else really makes up for it, which is backtracking. I cannot stand it, and there was not enough else in this life.
It's very Metroid.
It's very
true.
It's very me. That's true. Because what is it?
You're
Testing
like, we've been here. We've been here.
Yes.
I don't care if they have better sandwiches here. I've been here.
I don't want to say this again. I already said it.
Yeah. That's
Yes, you can check my ID again.
But I feel like, is it testing my memory? Like, why can't this be in front of me? Why does it have to be where I just was?
Well, Alex, I have a joy in going past something and going, oh, look at that. I'll be back here when I'm more powerful and I'll be able to do this thing.
See, for me, I'm overwhelmed because I feel like there's like 8 of those things, and I'm like, well, I don't really know where, and I have to, and I collected that, and
I didn't know where he was
got
either.
stuck in this game. Like, I got stuck to a point, it's not fun. Oh, okay, there it is, thank God. Okay, got through that. And then stuck, oh, I guess I can't play the game. Oh, there it is, thank God. There's right.
It sounds like it was the
But what
perfect
that
level of
is,
challenge.
So there's challenges in any game, but
I
usually
know.
the process of solving that challenge is a fun experience. Here, solving the challenge wasn't fun. It was frustrating and it was very unclear. And I felt this way about the original. I was never a lover of the original Metroid. It's a game that I always
You guys
put
are just
in,
friends.
and I always put Metroid in, thinking this time I figured it out. I know what to do now, and I would play it, and I was like, I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. So I, for the longest time, never knew that Samus was I never got the ending of Metroid.
It's so funny. Dan can do the same thing over and over and over 1,000 times, as long as he doesn't go past that and have to come back to it.
Yes,
as long as he's right here, and once he gets past it, he'll never have to do it again.
it's true.
It's so interesting.
I get that.
The psychology of
That
gaming.
makes a little bit of sense, though.
It makes a lot of sense.
I mean,
It
isn't it
makes
life?
sense.
Don't you like to live your life that way, also?
I guess.
2-step swords.
It's too deep for me to go right now.
Yeah.
I'm of two minds about.
Wait, can I just? You're gonna agree with this. I know you are. And this is why I was shocked by Alex's words. In conjunction with all this annoyingness, the flipping to first person
It's the worst part of the game.
was horrible.
It's the worst part of the game. Anytime this game goes to first-person mode, it breaks. Every time it's not in first-person mode, I was having a blast. Unfortunately, you have to go into first-person mode all the time. And there are sequences where, for some reason, Samus now is a detective.
Sort of.
And you're stuck in first person, and you can't move. You just have to move the camera around and find the one pixel that is the right pixel to be looking at. And there are times when I was like, this took me 20 minutes of just like scanning the environment, scanning. Oh, what am I supposed to be looking at? What am I supposed? There's one sequence where there's 4 dudes looking at a corpse, and you're looking between their legs at the corpse, and everybody's looking at the corpse. You're like, that's probably the corpse. No, you have to turn 180 degrees and look at the blood that's by the car. It's ridiculous. I did finish this game. I did enjoy it enough to keep playing it to finish it. I found there to be too many bosses, and the boss battles just got a little tedious. But I think the 3D fighting stuff really works well. It does feel a lot like a Ninja Gaiden game in the sense that the enemies are these prolonged endurance battles where you have to kill it before you can open a door. There's so much good. The presentation is great. The cutscenes are great. There's just really some bonehead design decisions to utilize the Wiimote in the first-person stuff. The fact that I'm playing like this horizontally, and then all of a sudden I have to switch, and every time I switch, I have to orient myself, and there's stuff attacking me. That's very frustrating.
Yeah.
It's form over or function over. It's as if just because the
form over whatever the bad one is.
It's not.
Don't get fooled
well,
again.
Here's the thing. It's not either of those because it's almost as if because the controller can do that, they said, well, we should just do that.
Shoehorned, yeah.
No, I mean, what about that is a engaging? What's the plus to doing that?
Interesting.
Moving on, the big Apple press conference that happened this week was interesting from a gaming perspective on a few fronts. One of which I think is for me the most exciting is that Epic debuted a version of the Unreal Engine on the iOS, playing on both the iPhone and the iPad. And you can download it for free if you have either of those devices.
It's sort of
Epic
like a
Citadel.
walkthrough showcase of. It actually reminded me of the old school like demos.
Yeah.
It was like a tech demo.
It really
it's
was.
Really cool.
Yeah, I mean, it is based on an actual game that's in development, but there's nothing interactive in the sense of a game. You can walk around and control the environment. What did you guys think? I was absolutely blown away by the visuals.
I mean, I thought the quality of the visuals were amazing, especially on the iPhone. My iPad thing wasn't working, but it just comes back to the same problem, which is depending upon how you execute, what is the game mechanic going to be? Because the 2 little dots showed up, and that is just awkward to play.
Input issues for sure.
Yeah, but when you're tapping and moving, and if maybe it's on rails and you're just hitting enemies as you shoot.
Well, they
I don't know
showed
what
at the
it is,
Apple thing. They played a little bit of the game where he like grabbed the character's boot and flicked up, so the boot kicked the guy in the face. I think that.
But basically, I was going to say it's gorgeous. I'm excited. The input device issue is the only thing, which is that they can actually utilize the benefit of the fact that it's an entire touch screen.
Would you think that
instead of just 2 fake thumbsticks?
Do you think that because it's the Unreal Engine that this will bring real big games to the platform instead of these bite-sized games? Like, I mean, we all love Angry Birds. We all love Plants vs. Zombies. But there's a big difference between that and Metroid the Other M or these other console games, and the Unreal Engine, I think, is a chance for that.
I would playing this after playing Metroid. I mean, it looks better than Metroid.
It does.
I mean, it looks way better. I mean, I'll look at this all day, and Metroid was not something I would like to look at all day, or for the hours that I played it. So, yes, and I think that. It's funny that you brought up the twin sticks thing. Was while that's there, I thought, well, actually, this is solving some input device problems, because the idea of tapping where I want to go anywhere and then swiping to turn, which it has, like, I think to play a 3D adventure game like Myst or the Monkey Island stuff, like, which there's a lot of those they're already on the iPhone.
Yeah, but new and something in the Unreal Engine.
I agree with both of you. I think that is exactly what I was thinking during that. Playing it too was like, this would be great for a thinking game, not an action game, because I still think there are problems. I agree with you, Alex. There are still problems to creating an action game.
If it's a Twitch-based game and it's 2 virtual thumbsticks, you're just not going to succeed.
However, what this game was what this was sort of showing in its navigation was similar to Mirror's Edge, which I think is one of my favorite games. And the iPad version, it's all swiping. It's swipe right, swipe left, and it's gorgeous, and it's swiping, which is a lot of fun.
The big question, and I have for you guys, is what do you think a price point for this type of? If you're going to get an A+ category game, but it's handheld,
Well, that's the question, isn't it?
You know,
because you put that out on the,
$19.95
put that on the PSP or the DS, and it's $40.
Yeah.
But
is downloading $40?
Can iTunes support a $40 thing? I don't know.
Mirror's Edge was $12. Short
it was,
though.
Yeah, $12 was short.
That's a really interesting point and a great question.
I'm thinking more they're going to be like the Xbox Live Arcade. Like $9.99 is a great sweet spot for me, even if it's a AAA title.
Yeah, well, $15 is kind of where the Xbox Live stuff is sitting now for the big stuff. I play the iPad version, which I just want to mention real quick, and the thing that made me think is it needs to have the Retina display immediately. It is such a stark difference between the iPhone 4 and the iPad now.
I want iPhone 4.
I want iPhone 4.
What's happening?
All right, everybody, before we get to our email, we want to thank our sponsors like GameFly. GameFly is basically the best way to get video games directly to you in the mail for a low, low fee. It's a $15.95 a month. They have 7,000 new and used titles across all handhelds and consoles. It's amazing. Games cost so much gosh darn cash nowadays.
Sure do.
You can have up to 1 to 4 games at a time. Also, if you like the game, let's say it's your best game of all time, mine probably missed, and you want to keep a copy. Click Keep It on the website, and they will send you the manual and case, and you can keep it at a reduced price. It's a great service. And also for you, there is a free trial membership if you head over to www.gamefly.com/TTRS for the Totally Rad Show. Jeffrey?
Yeah, let me ask you if this has ever happened to you guys. Let's say you really want a pet. You really, really, really want a pet, and your dad, he's walking home, and he stumbles into a shop, and he finds a really unusual pet for you. You bring it home, you're so happy, but here's the catch, right? There's these rules. You can't break these rules. And you don't want to break the rules. You're a kid, you don't want to break rules, but things happen and you spill some water on your pet. And things get really bad. That pet goes crazy, starts eating people.
You mean multiplying?
Multiplying, eating
That's what happens
people.
when you put water on a
It's
pet.
crazy.
If you feed them after midnight, they start eating people.
You've heard this story.
It's an old West.
If you had anything like that happen to you, wouldn't you want to be able to blog about it? Well, the best place to get a blog is squarespace.com. You would want to make a website. You want to host a blog.
Segment on the show.
I'm trying something new. You guys don't like playing along, but it's fun. The squarespace.com allows you to import a blog. Let's say you've already written that. You can import it.
Gremlins ate my father.
You can import it, and it's super easy. It imports all your comments, everything with like one click. It's really awesome. Also, it's easy to create something from scratch. You can create it with what you see is what you get editor, and if you have some coding skill, you can hop in there and tweak stuff and make it even more awesome. You can manage your stats, you can look at usage, you can update stuff all from your iPhone or your Android phone. It's such a great service. We all use it. We love it. We've been talking about it for years. You have to try it. Squarespace.com. If you check out using our promo code TRS, you'll get 10% off the lifetime of your order.
Ridiculous.
But stick to those rules because you don't want that to happen to you.
No. Twice even would really suck.
Yeah.
All right. So if you want to know what the heck he's talking about, you could rent Gremlins or Gremlins 2, the new batch, on Netflix. And you can have it delivered right to your door. 14 million of you guys already know about Netflix. You're already using it. So if you're one of those few people that aren't, you really want to hop on this bandwagon because we are a-moving.
It's a great wagon band.
You can not only can you get them delivered directly to your door in basically a business day.
Directly.
Yeah, I know I stumbled a little bit, but I'm trying to recuperate right now. You can also watch them instantly on your PS3, your Xbox 360, your PC, your Wii, your iPad, your iPhone, which apparently isn't also. I have it down, but I haven't looked at it yet. The Netflix iPhone app. You know, I didn't love The American. These guys did, but I know a movie that we all love.
I didn't love
is a very
The American
strong
either.
word. Very. I like how you classify her. Just so
I thought I heard you
it.
say that you loved it.
No,
You
not
weren't a
at all.
lover?
Didn't say that.
Anyway, I didn't love The American. That's what we can walk away with anything today. It's that I did not love The American, but we all loved.
friends with it.
The Professional. I think not only did I love it, but it is a perfect movie. It is a home run. You will love it if you haven't seen it. It's weird that you haven't seen it already, so you want to make sure you get that right away.
Stop being weird.
Blu-ray, or if it's on instant, go ahead and do it that way. So head over to www.netflix.com/TRS to get a free trial.
Amazing. All right, people, we have
Membership.
a little bit of news, but before we get to the news.
Oh yeah, we got big news. Not just a little
huge
bit of
news. So we got gigantic news, but before we get to that, we do want to read this email real quick. I was browsing a certain social news site and came across a story about the 15 biggest box office bombs. One of the bombs was the 1998 Soldier, starring Kurt Russell. Russell Crowe, the Australian.
You should have looked at that article.
It is one of my favorite movies that I will watch every time it's on. I can't believe it's classified as a bomb. So my question to you, the Two Red crew, is box office bomb. What movie you will watch repeatedly, or which one do you just don't understand how it could have been a bomb? Stay red, Andy from Maynard, Massachusetts. Maine is MI?
It's a very appropriate question right now because I'm currently going through this with Scott Pilgrim. I don't understand how it could have and Kick-Ass. Both of those movies.
I don't think they bombed though.
They bombed.
I don't think they bombed.
I think Scott Pilgrim definitely.
No, I don't think so. It's not.
They underperformed.
Yeah, underperformed. But that's
AKA bomb.
They lost money.
But okay. But I don't know.
Scott Pilgrim thought it was going to make money.
Bob bombed.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and select those two because I think those are not only.
What's the second one?
Not only great movies,
Kick-Ass
and Scott Pilgrim, not only great movies, but I think they're precursors to a whole new wave of geek movies that are going to start happening. It's like
or may not now.
It's like Arrested Development.
Successful.
Like Arrested Development couldn't find an audience, and now we've got 30 Rock and Modern Family and all those shows that are spiritual successors.
Gotcha.
And really only happened because Arrested Development happened.
What about you, Dan? That's totally
I think Ishtar is one of the most famous bombs of all time.
You can watch that anytime it's on.
But I actually, growing up, I used to love it. I've never seen its entirety, but I really enjoyed watching it.
I loved it. For 4 minutes.
I was a kid and I would watch it when it was on. I was like, why is this so bad? I think this is really funny. But I will say, and I'm pretty sure, I know Jeff agrees, I don't know how Alex feels about Hudson Hawk.
Oh, yeah, I like Hudson Hawk.
I love Hudson Hawk.
That's a great pick.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. And I also really like Last Action Hero. So I don't know if that bombed, but I know it
Bonfire of the
Vanities
Vanities is another one.
Bonfire of the
Oh, dude, the biggest bomb that I can always watch. Joe versus the Volcano. That was a huge bomb.
Yeah.
Great movie.
I will say.
He can do the job, but can he get the job?
I will say, and I have to say that a buddy of mine actually directed this film, but Tenacious D and the Pick of Destiny.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't even in the top 10 when it came out. It was like, but I went to the premiere. It's a hysterical movie. If you have time to sit down and watch it, it's really freaking funny.
Dude, Joe versus the Volcano. I'm so glad I thought of that.
Yes. Well, thank you, Andy. If you'd like to have your email read on the show, please feel free to send it to fans@totallyradshow.com. So
that's pretty much it for the show, right? That's it.
Well, there's the massive news.
Giant news!
So we're going to PAX, everybody. Next week, you're going to see our PAX show.
That's right. So if you saw us already at PAX, next week is the PAX show.
If you saw us at PAX, you already know this news.
You already know the news.
Well, if you came to our panel at PAX, so we have decided to split the Totally Rad show up into daily pieces of content.
We're going daily!
We're going daily.
Every weekday you're going to get a Totally Rad show.
I was like, no, we already do that. So it's going to allow us to add even more content over the next coming months/years. It's going to be great. So Monday through Friday, we're going to have a new piece of content coming out. We're super excited about it.
More segments for you. That means more stuff we'll be talking about, more things we'll be doing.
It should be fun. It's going to be a growing... it's going to be a learning process because we have ideas and we've been planning this for many months, almost 6 months.
Yes.
But obviously we're going to learn as we go. So stick with it. Let us know what you think.
Yeah, we know the internet hates change, so we expect that. But we'd still love to hear your comments, good and bad. I'm sure the forums will be talking about it vociferously.
I think the thing I'm most excited about with this is getting into a lot more varied content, which we don't always get a chance to do. We usually have like one segment at the end. We have our movies and video games and one other thing. Now we get a few more things, and I like things like we just did that tagline takedown that I know about.
Yes.
We had a blast playing that.
And we're gonna have a lot more recurring segments
Yeah.
like the tagline takedown,
Right.
like other things.
We're
And
gonna get into some fun, just having fun with each other
Yeah.
and doing fun things.
mostly with pants on.
With our,
I mean, Dan's really pushing for a lot
Jeff
of
grabbed the
cool-
wrong shorts today.
I
so.
did. There will be that pillow fight segment that we've been talking about.
Dude, TRS
Should
pillow.
really do a pillow fight.
That's actually kind of cool.
What show am I on?
We do like a more
like
advanced
My Little
pillow fight,
Pony.
where, like, we do it like cool, like
awesome.
like
in
in
the
the
woods.
shields. And,
We should like invite like 100
No,
people
no.
to do a
This is how
giant
bad ideas
pillow
get started.
fight.
It's all
So
bloody.
stick around. We are going to be going live the week after
dude.
PAX. So September 20th will be our first. It's September 20th, right?
Yes.
Monday, September 20th will be our first ever daily
TRS.
episode of TRS.
You
We
can
are
also
super
think
excited.
about it as TRS week.
Yeah.
Instead of every episode a day, you get a full week of
Yeah.
content.
And it's
Yeah.
all going to tie together, but it's going to be much more manageable, bite-sized stuff. It's going to be
So
really fun.
subscribe to us in iTunes if you're not
Correct.
already. It's the easiest way to get stuff already fed to you automatically.
Correct.
Or tune back into the website and see it every single day.
It's going to be awesome. All right, well, that's it for this week's edition of The Totally Rad Show. I'm Alex Albrecht.
I'm Jeff Canada.
I'm Dan Trachtenberg.
Until next time, see you dailies. What?
Well, actually,
Next,
in a little
next.
All right.
All right, what episode number? 81. 181. Great problem. Actually, you guys ready?
Yep.
You guys ready? Here we go. Get Dan. Shoot, shoot.
Attack Dan.
Is he coming to people's voices?
They are to.
Hey, R2. Hey, R2. Stop! R2D2, where are you? I have to go urinate.